Hello everyone, welcome to your Aquarius new moon reading, and this new moon is going to be on February 1st of 2022. It'll be around 12:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when it's going to be at its fullest. So for some of you in the western part of the United States, of course, that is going to be on the evening of January 31st, and wherever you're at in the world, of course. But this new moon has wonderful Aquarian energy coming in. It is an energy of independence. So when you're looking at help that's going to be coming your way around this new moon, it's going to be more coming from like groups rather than an individual. So that's kind of that Aquarian energy. They're more group oriented than, individuals. The new moon energy also has this kind of push to flow with any changes that are coming in around this new moon. And it's kind of this advice to step back from situations, cool down, and have like this rational look at current situations, not all that heated emotion flowing through there. So you can allow things to develop and try thinking from a different angle. So all that kind of energy is coming in. There's an affirmation. I love these Moonology decks that Yasmin Bullen puts out, and this is the Manifestation Oracle. And so you can see here, this is the new moon in Aquarius that's coming up. And the affirmation that she mentions in her little book that comes with this deck says, "There's only one of me, and it's safe to be me. And I love me." So I really, really like that one. And so with all these new moon cycles, of course, every 28, 29, 30 days, we have that new cycle of the moons that happen that go from new moon to the quarter moon to the full moon to the third quarter moon, back to the new moon again. So there's always this fluctuation there, but within each of the signs as well, there is a 6-month cycle. So this is the ending of a cycle that happened like over a year ago. But we have the full moon in Aquarius that happened back in 2021. In fact, we had 2 full moons in Aquarius, one after one another in 2021, which doesn't happen quite often. And so we had July 23rd, and then the blue moon in Aquarius on August 22nd. So if you look around those dates and in between those dates, you can kind of look and see what kind of changes were happening, because this one, the full moon energy for back in that time was about being real. It was about opening up to clarity around circumstances in our life, separating our ego's influence from the capital T truths of the reality of a situation. There was this balancing between the heart and the mind, and this balancing of being real versus trying to please all of the people all the time. The affirmation for those back in that energy was, "The truth empowered you and it set you free." So there was this setting free of something going on around July 23rd through August 22nd or thereabouts. And so since then, all the way up to this new moon, you've been working on all that energy of being more real, of seeing things more clearly, seeing beyond the ego and what your ego was saying something meant, like what story you were putting around a situation. And the clarity came over these last 6 months, which allows you to come in to this new energy where you're allowing the changes to happen with all this information that you gathered during that. So we're going to dive into each of the individual zodiac signs and just see what the Creator wants you to know about this new moon and about what these changes are and what you can go with the flow with. So we'll jump into your specific reading right now. All right, all my Sagittarians, this is your reading for the new moon in Aquarius. We're going to start off by pulling a card here from this Spirit Junkie deck. And this is going to represent what the Creator wants you to know about what clarity came to you over the last 6 months, and or what change or changes you're being encouraged to flow with or flow through. One more time here. All right, Creator, for our Sagittarians, what do you want them to know? Okay. And any others? Okay, nope, just this one here. And you have this one here. Love these cards. And it says, when I lead from a place of love, people respect me. And that is beautiful. So this is definitely what you learned was when you, and you kind of learned this from experience over the last 6 months, that when you led from a place of control and a place of fear, that didn't turn out too well, because people, first of all, don't like to be controlled. You know that yourself, right? You don't like to try to be controlled by others. But when you just love and you actually end up leading by example, you just end up loving people and acting from a place of love, that you get more people, like it says, you get, more bees with honey than with something else, right? And so I think it's vinegar or something, but you attract people, and the energy that you bring in when you have this unconditional love igniting within you, it just changes everything. It changes your viewpoint. So of course you see the world as you are, not as it is. So as you changed on the inside, your environment also changed. So it's just this beautiful, beautiful blossoming, like this little flower in here. We're also going to get some more clarification from this, the Good Tarot. We're going to see what else the Creator wants all of you Sagittarians to know about this Aquarian new moon. Okay, one more time. All right, so for our Sagittarians, what else do you want them to know about this Aquarian new moon? Okay, I do want that one. What else? Okay, I said those 4. I feel like we're going to pull more, but they want me to start with these, so we will. Do you have patience? So this would be like the Temperance card, and this is all about the balance that I talked about in the introduction, about balancing heart and mind. So exactly what we talked about with this intro too. When you lead from the mind and from your fears and from that control place, it doesn't turn out too well. I know I managed for many couple decades, and I found when I tried to make people do what I wanted them to do, what the company wanted them to do, really, it didn't turn out too well. When you find a balance between leading with, finding out what someone wants in their life and then what the company wants, and find this balance between the two and this commonality, then things moved very, much more than they would when we're just trying to push people to do what the company wanted. And so it's almost like that same feel for me for this card, is that you're finding this beautiful balance between those two worlds. And in doing so, you do find this place of peace, this place and where you're looking from your heart. You see here they have that blindfold on them. And it's about this beautiful connection. It's like close your eyes and then you truly see. When you're not taking in all this from your mind, then you can feel and really connect with your heart to that higher place, to that kind of like the eye in the sky, to the spirit world that is a place of unconditional love. And they see things outside of time and space. They see things from that higher perspective too, which allows this balance where it's not all this one-sided with all our fearful emotions and all our fearful thoughts. You have loving thoughts and loving emotions, which, we came here to experience both. So there's almost like this ebb and flow that's going on here. Instead of it just being slammed over and over into the shore, there's this beautiful tide in, tide out, and it's beautiful compared to what it was before, right? And then you have the page of air. So air is your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. It's the swords in the regular standard tarot. So this is all about your mind. And so the page represents two things. One is that you've had this change of mind, new thoughts, new beliefs, new ways of looking at things, which obviously is what we've been talking about. This also, pages were the hear ye of the olden times. And so this is also about getting messages into your mind. And I look at that two ways. One is from spirit. And you'll get just these ideas of imagination, of answers to things, just drop in. You're like, you're not even thinking about it. Or you open your mind and go, okay, how can I do this? And then suddenly there's an answer and you're like, oh, wow, okay. And that came from spirit. The other thing is that if you've had like someone, like a loved one that has passed away already and gone back to the other side, if you're not thinking about them at all, and suddenly you have this memory of them, then that is them touching the memory in your brain, letting you know that they are with you, because they have always been with you. That when people pass out of their physical bodies, they connect immediately to their higher self, and they can be everywhere all at once. They don't have to spread themselves out among all their loved ones. They can be with each individual loved one 100% of the time, all the time, giving 100% engagement, because that's the ability of the spirit world. I mean, it's like the creator. Creator can be everywhere all at once, and is. Same thing with us. We're little mini creators. We can be in so many same places at the same time as well. So they've always been with you since they passed, but they're touching that memory to specifically let you know in that moment that you are not alone, and reminding you that they are with you. All right. And then you have the 9 of fire. This would be like the 9 of wands in the standard tarot. And normally it is about feeling a great amount of energy. And it can be, this is a general reading, so it could be that you're taking on, or had taken on, a lot of other people's energy, a lot of people's emotional energy. And it also could mean that you're taking on and having the beautiful amount of love energy as well. So I kind of feel like this is this contrast being reiterated for you in this reading, that you went from feeling one way to feeling another. It's also this beautiful, and I love all the stars showing there too. This is especially with that star right there. So there's all the star energy, this ethereal energy, but it is this don't give up. The 9 is that you found this beautiful energy within you, and you're so close to an ending and a new beginning that you've been looking forward to. And it's like this, it is the don't give up, don't give up, don't give up, keep going, keep going, keep going. The patience, kicking in here too. It's almost time. You've been so patient. And this, full moon is as we reached a culmination, and it goes, this is like new seeds being ready to planted for this new adventure. So it's another ending and new beginning around this new moon that you've been waiting for and waiting for and waiting for. And it's so close. Don't give up. And then you have the 4 of air, which would be the 4 of swords in the regular tarot. And it kind of is the peace of mind card, whereas the 3 of air would be all about our expectations, our thoughts, and all those beliefs that are stressing us out. It's like the feeling of pain and disappointment when our expectations aren't met. The 4 of air, they usually have someone sleeping on like the Ace of Swords and the other 3 swords hanging on the wall. And so it is this ability of seeing things from this higher perspective, seeing capital T truths and these little small t truths. You're able to cut away and let go of those thoughts and those beliefs that no longer serve you. And that's what brings you this peace of mind. You don't have all this stuff just, going at your mind, going at your mind, going at your mind. And so there, going some additional clarification here. So there's one. What else? Okay, I feel like this one right there, and one more. Okay, it's this one right here. Yep, Emperor. Emperor, two sides of the emperor. One is the emperor kind of represents the rules, the society, the being in control, feeling in control, that type of energy. And the two sides, one is a loving emperor, which is someone who leads with love. I mean, literally, this is the leader with love. And so one side of him is when he's connected to love and he's not feeling out of control, and all the decisions he makes are for the kingdom, so to bring the kingdom together so that everyone in the kingdom can be successful. It's not about him, and that's beautiful and lovely. And that's when there's this loving emperor, and everyone loves this loving emperor. But the human side, if the human side gets involved, and that's when we feel out of control, we feel unsafe. And so what our human side does is it tries to get back in control to feel safe. So it tries to maintain its control, grow its control, and even taking control from others. So it transforms from a loving emperor into a dictator that everyone does not want to be under. And there's this transformation that has happened. I really feel like you did move from this dictator, kind of feel to this loving emperor type of feel, or that's the change that's coming because of everything that you've learned. You're making this transformation, and this is the change that you're encouraged to flow with and to transform into. Yep, because here you go. You have the Ace of Air. So this is the air we talked about already a couple times here, about your mind and your mentalness. And the Ace is about new mind, new thoughts, new beliefs, new ways of looking at things. So that is definitely being reiterated here with all this air and with all this newness coming in. It's a gift of higher thought, higher beliefs. And the Ace of Swords, like I talked about, I think I talked about it with over here, that it brings you this ability to see the capital T truth, see the higher truths. And yeah, because I talked about it in here with the Ace of Swords here. So this is the Ace of Swords making itself known here about the cutting away of those old thoughts and those old beliefs that no longer serve you. You hold the power. You're the loving emperor wielding this mighty Ace of Swords. Yeah, okay. Usually I talk about the Hierophant with the Emperor too, so this is perfect that it came out, because this would be the exact same story as the Emperor, except the Hierophant is like an emperor of spiritual beliefs. It'd be like a religious leader. And so there's these two sides too of the religious leader who would create rules and situations to grow the love and grow a community together with the same people that had the same beliefs, bringing them together, knowing that when we come together in love, that we can spread the love to the world and do so much good for the world and do so much loving things for the world. But if they feel insecure and they feel unsafe, they become this little dictator, and that's when you have like the Crusades, where they want to get control, maintain their control, take other people's control, and get more control. And that's, the opposites. And so you have this beautiful message here of transforming, leading with love in both physical and spiritual ways, with this new beautiful power that you feel, where you can cut away all those old thoughts and beliefs that were making the dictator in both of these, and lead more with love, both for yourself on your inner kingdom. And that flows out into, if you are a parent or you are a supervisor of any kind, or you just are looked at as a leader among your friends, you get to lead with love instead of this controlling, fearful place, which is beautiful. So I kind of feel, like I said, you've been really learning all of this over these last 6 months, and this is you just applying the change more and more and more, and going with this flow and this encouragement of letting go of all that control, and focusing on love, unconditional love, not the conditional love of the Three of Swords that we talked about, all those expectations, all the dictator things, all those rules that get applied for control, because when I don't have those, I feel out of control. But when you're connecting deeper and deeper and deeper, this is when this wonderful balance comes in. You allow yourself to feel and to ebb and flow, but you don't necessarily have to act out externally on those things. It's about this internal journey for you. So I am loving this new moon energy with this Aquarian taste to it all. So I'm going to leave the reading there. I do want to let you know that in addition to these readings, I also do monthly readings by each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates by each of the elements, like fire signs, water signs, etc., all the new moon and full moon readings, of course, and several others. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and get notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, and then also click the subscribe button and then the notification bell, you can set your setting to be notified immediately. And also that's a great way to share the love, because doing all those things does help the YouTube algorithm share these videos with other people as well as recommended or suggested videos. So if you want to do any of that, of course, I greatly appreciate that. Never any pressure to do so. All right, my Sagittarians, just know as you go throughout each and every second of every day of your life, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing new moon, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care.